This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Want to know another Snapple fact? The first hot air balloon passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Ridiculous. Check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavored Snapple near you.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
I'm Lucy Fink, and this is The Real Stuff, a weekly podcast series where we lean into some of the world's most taboo topics. In each episode, guests will share intimate details about their sex lives, their finances, and their innermost thoughts. And I want to bring you on the show. Visit lucyfink.com/apply for a chance to call in as an anonymous guest. Let's get to The Real Stuff. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
I have all my kids at home, but they're eating lunch right now. And I said, Chantel, a lot's kind of happened. We need to talk. And Chantel was like, oh.
No,
because,
I did not. Don't even start with me today.
You guys, we did please go tune into Carlos King's podcast. I know we did a recap here, but we also did a recap for the finale on his podcast, which was so much fun. And everyone was like, Chantel was so activated. I've never heard her speak that much. And they were like all for it. And I love that.
I think it was because I was on my best behavior and it was on video. So I'm like, okay, we need to make sure we're talking. I'm talking. We're doing this. Let's go.
Yeah. You're not distracted.
And then Roxanne at one point had to get up again to go attend to her crying baby.
God. It was so bad, you guys. I was like because my Elle is like, my kids before, like they would nap during the day. Elle's really not like that, but I was strategic on when I would put her to nap and everything. And then all of a sudden I heard her, and the whole time I was having anxiety, and I was like, I have to go. So you'll catch me like saying, I don't even know. Did you catch me say something? I did say something though. I was like, I'll be back. I don't even know. I just brought Elle downstairs, but you don't hear her because she was in like her Bjorn, and she is fine on that. But yeah, so there's like a moment where it's like just Chantel and Carlos.
Yeah, no, it was funny. But I know I loved him. His energy is just so amazing. Like he makes me crack up. Like I love people that can recall these scenes and moments, and it's like he's a live meme, So that's fun.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. So, it's really good. So go listen to it. Let us know what you think. We had such a fun time with him. We love Carlos. He was actually in Michigan. We were, we obviously are from Michigan. So, it was just funny. We were chatting a lot before that, but definitely go tune in and listen to it and let us know what you think. But we thought we would cover some hot topics. We feel like a lot's happened since New Jersey, which is so weird. I am excited to just kind of go into OC. So if you're a listener and you don't watch OC while you're cleaning, please watch OC because, even from the beginning, if you just watch the reunions, don't sleep on OC. It's Housewives gold. So I don't understand why some people do. But we also got so many messages like, hey, you didn't do an OC episode last week. And I just want to I think we told our Patreoners, but it was Chantel's fault. So
yes, it was. I'm sorry. But we will this week for sure.
Yeah, no, I love OC. I get passionate and excited to talk about OC. So, anyways, we are going to cover some hot topics today. There's a lot of hot topics going on. So the first hot topic, Chantel, did you see that Louie actually issued an apology following the episode?
Yes, I did. And I'm so glad
he did it today.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, Charlie.
It's Sloan.
Oh, hey, Sloan.
Yeah, no, I'm totally glad he did. Of course, my middle child, you guys, of course. Of course, you have to go over there though, okay? So I'm glad that he did because we don't condone that. I want to make it clear, we love Louie so much. We know Louie for Louie, so we love him. Every time we've met him, it's been a great interaction, and I feel like he's truly been through it. However, I don't like when people comment on kids. I think there's like such a big backstory that has been edited out for people to understand. But even Chantel, remember when Melissa Gorga was like, Melissa Gorga had come out and said that something was going to happen to my kids because I talk about her. So I don't like that stuff. Like, I just feel like, it's like bad energy. So I don't like that. Like, you should never bring the kid or anything. So I do want to make that clear. However, I know there is like a huge backstory, and I hope one day he actually like really talks about it where there's like no editing involved.
Do you want to read his apology?
Yeah. So I will read his apology. And I want to know your thoughts on it. But he basically says, the finale was very tough for me to watch, and I wanted to address it with you all. After watching it, I was disappointed in my actions in bringing up Margaret Joseph's son. The reason he was even brought up was because I have been dealing with being falsely accused of calling Margaret's son at his work, which is simply not true. For the last year, Margaret kept putting this narrative out there that I called her son at work, and I've had to deal with it knowing I'm being lied on. He said, I do know better not to bring someone's child, and it's something I deeply regret. So I do want to apologize and acknowledge that I was wrong. There's been a lot of toxicity on the show that has affected everyone on the show. We have been dealing with a lot of frustrating things behind the scenes, and it has been very hard for our entire family and my children, who have been really impacted by all that's happened at the hands of certain people. Two wrongs don't make a right, and I deeply regret saying what I said.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Yeah, I thought that was a class act that he would go and say that, especially because like I'm sure it was so hard for him because he can't stand Margaret so much. But I think he like him acknowledging that he shouldn't have said that about his son is like what he needed to do. And I hope people can move on because, honestly, like I think it's because it's not like he randomly like said, Rachel Fuda's daughters or something, even though he can't stand them. It's because like they keep saying that he called the son and that, she started talking to X because he called the son, like the son. And that's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
And like I said this on Carlos is King, I think Louie's a very emotional guy. He's very like deep in his feelings when he's talking. Like sometimes he's like, just like saying what he wants to feel in the moment. And I think what he was trying to say is that like, I wish she felt what you guys have done to my children, and not that like he wishes ill on her, but it's like, if you see what my children have went through
and how they've been impacted.
Yeah. Like you would stop maybe, and I think he just doesn't know how to explain it, but like, we can't justify him saying that, but I do think he regrets it.
Well, Margaret likes to say kids are resilient, right? So for her, she shouldn't really be that impacted by this.
And he's older too.
He's 30. But so she shouldn't be impacted because when she accused Jennifer Aiden of being a drug dealer or a drug addict, she accused Jennifer Aiden of being a drug addict. When she put that affair out there, which no one in Jennifer's family knew, she said, kids are resilient. So, I think I want to note that we have looked up, and I don't know if I've said this, but I think we did in the last episode, but I have looked up everywhere possible for this police report that Margaret has said that she did on Louie's son, or on her son about this Louie phone call. Nothing, never. And isn't it interesting how we've never known like what was said? If he called, what did he say?
And you know what? Like, I know you're going to talk about this whole vindication thing. It's like, that's what would vindicate you, Margaret. That's what would vindicate you. You showing this proof of paper, you showing this thing, because that's what you've all been saying this whole time. Is because he went after my son. He went after my son. Then show the proof. Since you like to call it people's exes and do these things, show the proof.
But again, it's important to note that she has been in contact with the ex since 2021. So it is very important to note that. So I just want to remind everyone about that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it is like a messy thing. I'm glad that he apologized, I think, but I also feel bad because I feel like he's like damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Like if he doesn't apologize, everyone goes at him. If he does apologize and say like, here's where my thought process was, I'm sorry, like people still go at him. So it's like, he doesn't get the same energy like the other men do. And it sucks.
Yeah,
it really does. And it's because he married Teresa at the end of the day. Jennifer Aiden had actually commented on the apology and said, Louie is amazing. It's not easy to take all this negative energy when you're just trying to do the right thing while everyone is watching. In the heat of the moment, people say things they don't really mean. There was a lot that Louie and Teresa and their whole family were dealing with. I know Louie, he's a stand-up guy. He would never intentionally say something hurtful in a clear mindset. He was obviously extremely overwhelmed and frustrated. I hope this ex will finally leave them alone and everybody in their lives will stop talking to her. They're happily married and move on. And we know that the ex still has not moved on. Still till this day. It's a really scary thing, you guys. So
she won't until she finds someone new.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what happens. Like she won't until she finds a new victim to do this to, you know, and she has done it, you guys, to her previous exes. If you guys ever listen to the court cases, or if you listen to Minor Xan's podcast about her, this is her behavior. She does it to each ex.
It's a complete pattern. Yeah. It's just, you know, he happened to marry a famous person. So in another hot topic that I wanted to cover is we actually spoke to Siggy Flicker. We love us some Siggy Flicker. And she actually touched on, you know, what was happening or what her thoughts are about Margaret Josephs and like the show possibly getting canceled. She really doesn't watch it though. So I'll be honest with you. She doesn't actually watch it. But she did say that Margaret Josephs is the downfall of Real Housewives of New Jersey and that the toxicity comes from Margaret Josephs. It's on allabouttrh.com. Of course, like my Wi-Fi is acting up with that story, so I can't even like read exactly what she said. But she does say, like, at the end of the day, it comes down to Margaret, and that producers at times would whisper things to Margaret, knowing that Margaret's the only person who would do things. Siggy also brings up the fact that, you know, she reached out to the ex-wife, her husband's ex-wife, who sadly is no longer here, to, you know, get dirt and start problems between Siggy's family, and which would severely affect the children. And that is why Siggy quit and walked away, because of the toxicity. And once she found out, you know, her children told her, once she had found out that Margaret was in communication with the ex, that's when she walked out and said, it's not worth it to me. I don't want something like this to play out on the show. And I mean, Siggy has a beautiful life, so it really worked out very well for her. I mean, I know that I think Chantel, she had showed us like her like Hamptons house and all that stuff. So she's like doing really well. But what are your thoughts about what Siggy had to say? Again, go on allabouttrh.com because of course my Wi-Fi is suddenly not working.
Yeah, I think she's firsthand knows what Margaret is up to, can do, and like she's been the victim of that. And like it's again the same patterns. These people have the same patterns, and they keep doing it. And if Teresa's not it, they'll find someone else to do it too. So it's just like this is her game, and she loves to play it. So I do think she's the demise of this show, and like of making it like where it's like, you know, like Carlos said, it's like this island, they're like the survivors, and it's just like too much. Sometimes it's just like, let's all chill, let's all be on the same team, like, you know, for the most part, and then we can have some drama, you know. So yeah, I think she's just dirty. I wish I could talk to more about Siggy right now about Fessler, like, and I wish she would watch it to see if that's truly Fessler's behavior, because that girl is the most like, you know, two-faced girl I've ever met.
Yeah, Fessler walked out yesterday, or I'm sorry, on the season finale. So I'm done with Fessler. I don't care. She walked out. And I'm not saying, I get it though, because it is toxic and it's a lot. So it's like, you apparently hosted this, like you knew how divided it was. I know that producers are in their ears with that stuff, but like still, you know, so I don't think that was a good move for her to just walk out. I don't like that. So, and she's, like you said, a flip-flopper completely. I don't see that her podcast with Jackie and her will last. I just don't see it.
Has Jackie came out with anything? I know someone said
she just posted a picture of her and Teresa.
Okay, someone said to me, I've heard that Jackie started giving interviews weeks back and also telling us she spoke to the ex and refused to stoop low. Hold on, let me see. She said she realized she was dealing with someone. Oh yeah. I think the biggest thing is that Jackie said that she realized she was dealing with someone very like low and toxic, and then that's when she stopped talking to this person.
The biggest thing that everyone needs to understand is that Jackie, at the end of the day, kept this information to herself, and that's the biggest difference of it all. So there you go. You know, it's not like she really did anything toxic with this. Like, she had a moment, and I get it, and that's that. So, you know, they do get dirty on the show. Unfortunately, they get dirty on the show. Teresa saying Evan might have cheated on you, which again, that came from Margaret Josephs, who told Joe Gorga, who told Teresa. And they get dirty on the show. Like, that was a dirty thing as well. But Danielle Cabral's being so like weird and extra, and it's like she doesn't get it. So I know that Danielle is very much a person who deletes like all the bad comments, which is fine, like that she gets. So right now she's like on this high horse where she feels like, you know, she is the shit. So she keeps, like, we've seen her act aggressive. We've seen her, again, I feel like she's been dying to get famous. So she's like studied what Teresa did, but we're in a different time. It's 2024. What Teresa did then, where it would be like acceptable or crazy or whatever, it's a lot now. That's just how the world is. But you know, even when Danielle left that scene where she's like, oh, this is like your friend Jackie and all that bullshit she did, she goes and she puts a picture, or I think it was a video of Jackie, and it says Jackie literally walks in reverse to avoid the housewives. It was that scene where she did that. And Danielle puts on her story, if you only knew the shit that this one has done to try and destroy a person's name. Lowest of the low. Epitome of a jealous Gracia, this is your karma, the rewind walk. And she put like those like scary laughing emojis that only like unhinged people put, the one where they cover their mouth. And she used that, and it's like, leave her alone. Like, Bravo has asked you guys to all chill the fuck out. Leave her alone.
Yeah, and like, what's your deal? Like, it's like,
You're so aggressive.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I think she thinks she's so vindicated because she's never really cared for her, because Jackie like made a comment about her outfit one time. So like, she's like holding on to this like weird grudge that's like, she doesn't even look at you. So like, leave her alone.
Yeah. No, it's too much. It's like she just gives me very aggressive vibes. Like even Carlos King said, this is not the show for her. She's very, very aggressive and intense. And she's that person who, when someone's at their lowest, like she'll really knock them the hell down. Like, yes, we did find out a thing about Jackie, which was very shocking. But let's not forget what Margaret has been doing the last 4 years. That doesn't take away from Margaret talking to this person, gifting her with presents. It doesn't take away from any of that, you know?
Yeah. And again, at the time when Jackie did do this, like, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, anywho, so let's get into it. So Margaret actually called in on Sirius XM. I forgot which one.
Radio Andy.
Oh, I know it was Reality Check. And she, you know, talked about Jackie, like why she felt like Jackie went against her. And she's like, and like the whole Jackie thing. And she says, I did not find out till a week before we filmed that season finale. The only reason she didn't tell anybody, she kept the cards close to her chest. She had, with not only the ex Vanessa, but there were 2 Vanessas. She had both Vanessas at her home, 2 of them. And then Margaret says at her house, which did not come out, she had both. Oh, she reached out to them. I have the screenshots of it, which was not shown. And on February 25th, 2021, before Louie had ever even come on the show, and understandably so, she wanted to get Teresa back for spreading that rumor, which is so crazy because it was Margaret who put it out there. And then Margaret says that she feels vindicated. She's like, I feel so vindicated. It's absolutely insane. I mean, it took the whole damn season for the truth to come out. I did get the subpoena in 2021. It's like lawyer subpoena. This was like a court ordered. I had to show up. It came regular mail. And I was like, what is this? It was to be a witness in a domestic violence case for Louie. I had no idea what it even was. She never, that's a lie that it was about domestic violence. Like, that's a fucking lie. She's making that up. She's like, I think other people were called. I don't even know. But that was in 2021. In the new case with Bo Dietl situation, her attorney had, you know, reached out to numerous people because that was her case, not just with Louie, but with Bo Dietl as well. That's not true. See, here's the thing. Margaret Josephs, and you guys have to think about this. Margaret Josephs admits that when she found out they were all going to meet with Jim, she called up this psychopath who's not well, and she said, hey, and keep in mind the psychopath tried to flip things by putting a restraining order on Louie, but here she is talking to everyone Louie works with. Okay. But anyways, so Margaret calls her up and she says to her, like, hey, they're all meeting up. She tells her like what's going to happen on the episode, what they're filming, and she's like, what's it going to be about? So then what that tells me is that after the reunion with the whole Bo Dietl stuff, Margaret went and she called the ex and said, just so you know, the Bo Dietl stuff happened and they're saying that they are investigating you and blah, blah, blah. So Margaret has been in constant communication with this unhinged person that will not leave Teresa, Louie, Teresa's kids alone. Teresa's kids' boyfriends will not stop commenting on all of their stuff, not stop commenting on the cast stuff, even like moved in a certain area to be like amongst these people. So it is very, very toxic. And she has communication with someone who's literally been trying to hurt their family. We've said it, that there's been so much legal stuff, so much money spent because this person will just not stop talking about Louie.
Yeah, I just think she's crazy, and I don't understand where she's trying to say she's been vindicated, because all that was proven is that like you guys all did it, not just one person. You guys all did this thing to her.
Right. And this is like a crazy person. So they talk about like, oh, this person was talking to a blogger. First off, let's know that everyone talks to bloggers. Secondly, Margaret even was speaking to bloggers who were Teresa fans to try to get them to churn. And this is like speaking to that. This is like a very unhinged person, a very unhinged person. So yeah, I just thought that was another thing that we needed to address. I know this is like, not New Jersey related, but I did want to bring this up because I thought it was so interesting. But Monica Garcia said that Bravo asked her to come back on Salt Lake City.
What?
Yeah. She's like, she first says, she was like on a recent appearance. This is on allaboutterrich.com, but she said that Bravo and production have gotten a lot of shit for not inviting me back. It was not their fault. And they actually tried to bring me back. They actually tried to bring me in towards the end of the season for season 5. And you can thank a couple of mother effers for threatening to quit if Bravo brought me back. She's like, so I want to shout out Bravo for having my back always. They are not the ones who should be catching the heat, and we all know who should be. And if you don't know, you'll soon know.
I mean,
so,
again, can you
go ahead?
Me? Oh,
yeah.
Again, like we explained this on the reunion. Like if Monica played her cards right and was very apologetic and not so crazy of how she handled it, like then I feel like maybe they would allow. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of us would be like, okay, she should come back. But even with time being like gone and like they're filming, it's like no, you're still unhinged to come back. To be honest, unless like you changed a different leaf and like you did this, you did all these things, but.
She said that like her former co-stars opened several investigations against her and the network, which is like a 6-month thing. If that's the case, like I feel like that's just like too much to do, but I guess we have to hear the other side to know.
Yeah, but like look at them. It's like them getting together and saying, no, this is you guys are not doing this to our people. And it's like there's crazier people in New Jersey and what they're doing, and like they don't do anything about it.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
I think the thing is with Monica is like she does have an interesting story, and like even with her like her pregnancy and miscarriage, like I think like producers would want to have had something like interesting to show like her side.
Well, I mean I don't think a miscarriage like I feel like that's relatable. So like we like to see like the relatable stuff, and it's a really sad thing. So we want to see like how she's coping, and it's just a lot of people don't talk about those things. So I do think that would have been interesting to just kind of discuss. But yeah, I don't know. We wanted to just put in a quick episode because we definitely wanted to cover these things just because it's been a lot. We will be on Thursday evening or Friday morning. We will release OC, and I'm so excited to talk OC because I feel like a lot's going on there. And again, please watch it if you're not, because it's actually so freaking good. So
good.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that was it.
All right. So a quick episode, but we wanted to
quick and dirty, just like our martinis.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, bye, guys. We will talk with you guys on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.